know, having a computer science degree, I can talk about AI a little bit more.
Hmm.
My congressman's completely quiet on AI, and we can talk
Wow.
about, yeah, it's really bad. And he's on the AI committee.
How is that possible?
I don't know if he misspoke, or, I don't know if he was lying or misspoke.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. So we just put that out there on our social media. Um, but yeah, so this time we have more to talk about. And besides AI, Iran, he's not
Hmm.
talking too much about it.
Right.
All the Democrats are delaying the war powers resolution vote, and he's part of that leadership class that doesn't he might not be the one on the committee blocking it, but he's not talking about it,
Hmm.
talking about like what we can do, right?
Right.
So no, he's definitely not doing everything in his power to keep us out of war, out of a ground invasion with Iran.
Yeah.
And it's very, very concerning.
It is concerning to everyone. I think there's very little support for this war in
Mhm.
Iran to begin with, and putting troops on the ground. I mean, I don't think there's really any appetite for that in America. So your incumbent has been in Congress, I believe, since 1988. Is that right?
Yeah, so 38 years. If he wins, it's going to be 40 years.
That is
So,
incredible. How do you feel
yeah,
about term limits?
I support them.
Yeah,
You know, I'm a little divided because, I like Bernie. Uh,
sure.
yeah, at times I like Elizabeth Warren. Sometimes I don't, right?
Yep.
But there's some good Congress people, but I think uh at this point, I think we should, like, even maybe 20 years for the House. Like,
Hmm.
that's a pretty long time already.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
very long time.
yeah, like compared to 40,
Right.
that's half the time, right?
I
So
feel if you're doing this for 40 years, um, just by default, you kind of have to lose touch with your constituents and as you said, things that are, new issues that wouldn't have been issues when he first entered his seat or took his seat in Congress, such as AI. Um, and things like APAC, right? There's more awareness around
mhm,
all of that now than there probably was when he first took his seat. So it just feels impossible to believe
mhm.
that people can continue to be effective in Congress over a 40-year period.
That's a great point, and I think that's definitely true. I think, he's not talking with people who are opposing all the military aid and the wars with Iran. He's there might be some donors that donate to him that
Hmm.
support this thing. I'm not sure, but um, on the ground, it does feel a bit nerve-wracking to bring this up, but I talk about Iran. Um, so far, I've only met about 4 or 5 Democrats that support the war with Iran.
Right.
Uh, and I talk about the military aid to Israel.
Hmm.
And, you know, that's a very divisive issue, but actually on the ground, yeah, I found like so many people have opposed it, and a lot of people don't know that he was voted for all the weapons the last 2.5 years.
I feel like it's divisive at the government level. I feel like from a constituency perspective, it's not that divisive. I think most of us are
Maybe.
opposed to that military aid, especially now that it's gotten us into this situation in Iran. And like I said, there's just the awareness of that grows, I think,
Yeah.
more and more.